And welcome back to our daily NBA predictions here on the channel. It is December 13th. And we are away from the in-season tournament, obviously, for now. Tomorrow we'll be back with it, obviously, with the two games with the Atlanta Hawks taking on, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks, thank you, and the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Houston Rockets. We told you the Hawks are going to be in this spot, obviously, and I've been saying for a very long time the Thunder are going to win the in-season tournament. So, who am I to say? But anyways, we have 8 NBA games today in the association. Obviously, again, no IST today, but we've got 8 basketball games, and then, again, we turn it to the in-season tournament semifinals tomorrow in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, folks, if you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, an hour ago, we posted our college basketball 5 best bets. Again, that's daily on the channel as well, so go check that video out after you get done finishing this one. Links in the description down below. Our NFL predictions were posted yesterday. We have all of our college bowl games scheduled out already on the channel. Our Army-Navy predictions. On top of that, again, the first 2 bowl games for week number 1 of bowl season. Make sure to go check those videos out again. Weekly college football predictions here on the channel, as well as our MMA predictions. We're talking about PFL Europe Championships this weekend and a UFC Tampa, Colby Covington, Joaquin Buckley main event in the welterweight division. And also make sure to go join the 20,000 subscriber giveaway, folks. This is the last day where you can join the 20,000 subscriber giveaway for $100. Again, entries close tonight, so make sure you do it. All you have to do is subscribe on YouTube and follow Greedo Plays YT. It's the first link down below in the description. Again, all you have to do to enter the giveaway, and that ends tonight. We'll draw a winner for $100 tomorrow. Okay, starting with our first game, and welcome back to normalcy here in the NBA. We get the Washington Wizards and the Cleveland Cavaliers. 17.5 points, that's crazy. That's got to be the biggest line we've gotten all year, and I kind of understand it, I'll be honest with you. Give me Cleveland. Yeah, give me Cleveland to cover the 17.5 points. The Wizards are just horrible, okay? They had a random game where they beat the Nuggets. The NBA doesn't make sense sometimes, it really doesn't. Like, it doesn't make sense when they rigged the game for the Rockets the other night to beat the Golden State Warriors. No, I'm not still mad about that. No, I've totally gotten over it. The Rams made up for it the other night beating the 49ers. So thank you, Puka Nacua. Anyways, the Washington Wizards are horrible at basketball. I don't know how. I don't know what horseshoe they pulled out their ass against the Nuggets. It was weird. Everyone's still hurt, guys. The Wizards are not good. I think they get some guys back, but still, they are still dealing with no Brogdon, no Kyle Kuzma, no Corey Kispert, no Keyshawn George. It's just, this is embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing. It's utterly embarrassing what the Washington Wizards are putting out. I mean, the DMV deserves better, man. They do. They deserve some winning basketball. I remember for the longest time when it was always a thing like, oh, maybe Kevin Durant will return home and play for the Wizards. And this is what, we went from John Wall to Bradley Beal. Obviously, they were there at the same time, obviously, to the pool party. Shout out to Jordan Poole, his little celebration. He's doing literally that's his 3-point celly now, which is, it's actually tough, I ain't gonna lie, but they're not beating the Cavaliers. The game's in Cleveland, and Cleveland will blow them out. Sorry, the levels of excitement are not high here. Max Strus might not play. Oh no. Dean Wade and George's Yang is gonna, they'll fill the void if Okoro can't play. Like, this is just, the Wizards are horrible, guys. I would lay off it personally. I know, again, the Wizards are an easy auto fade, and they've been, the spread's cash against the Wizards like a 70% rate this season. I get that. If you want to bet the 17.5, go ahead. Personally, it's just way too much for me. But if you press me on a winner, obviously the Cavs will win, and then on top of that, I will take Cleveland to cover the spread here. You've got, right now, the record-wise, the best team in basketball taking on the worst team in basketball. I wonder what's going to happen. Next up, we go on it to our good old friends here at the Indiana Pacers. Yes, I'm taking the Pacers again. This feels like such a spot where the Sixers just lay an egg. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Yes, Embiid is back. He played the Bulls game. They went out there, and they beat the Bulls by 8 points. They win on the road. I feel like this is such a spot for the Sixers to lay an egg, okay? Hear me out. Hear me out here. Jared McCain is fully in a bench role. All right, Jared McCain does not have to do as much as he needs to do, or as he used to. I think that hurts the 76ers, because Jared McCain right now is their best player. I get it when Embiid's healthy and Maxey when they're fully back, right? And Maxey is kind of their best player right now. But, Embiid, again, when Embiid finally gets everything going, obviously, second game back from injury, he's going to be a much more efficient scorer than Jared McCain and a better scorer than Jared McCain. Jared McCain should be in the starting lineup, though. Why isn't Jared McCain playing the 1 and Maxey playing the 2, or the other way around? I mean, do we really need Yabusele in the starting lineup? Can we not play small? Or if not, do we need Kelly Oubre in the starting lineup? I don't know. Honestly, should we beg the question? Do we need Paul George in the starting lineup? I know they gave him all that money, but I'm serious. Like, I know, Jared McCain, second unit off the bench, but really, do we need Paul George in this lineup, or we need Jared McCain? I will say you need the rookie of the year more than Paul George. Regardless, I just either move out Yabusele or Kelly Oubre, but regardless. Embiid looked good in the Bulls game. I'll give him that. Scored 31 and 12. Let's see how he plays against Miles Turner, who has been very underwhelming this season. I'm not going to pretend that he hasn't been. But guys, the pressure's on the Pacers. It is so on the Pacers. They got a long break. They have not played since Sunday. All right, you lose at home to the Charlotte Hornets. Get it together. Get it together. I don't know what to say. Some nights Tyrese Halliburton's great. Some nights he's awful. Now, the thing is, Tyrese is probably going to luck his way into being an all-star this season in the Eastern Conference because everyone and their mother is getting hurt in the Eastern Conference. It's crazy. So all the all-stars are out. Like, Tyrese will probably just backdoor his way into the all-star game because of fan voting. He'll probably get in just because he's a name. Right now, Tyrese Halliburton's not playing like an all-star. And again, trust me, when Tyrese does start playing at an all-star level, I will be the conductor of the hype train surrounding, again, Tyrese getting back to his third consecutive all-star game. Right now, he's not playing like an all-star. Passing-wise and, facilitating-wise, yes. Just the shooting percentages are down, averaging 17.5 points a game. If you get that up to 20, yeah, he probably is back at all-star form. Again, regardless, the NBA all-star game is kind of stupid at points because, yes, injuries and fan vote will probably get Tyrese in. But step up, man. Step up. That's all I got to say. We need a big Tyrese night tonight. We're taking Pacers plus 200. I'm sick of this Indiana nonsense. I'm sick of it. And they better be sick of it too. Go out there and beat a team that's 7-15. I know their record doesn't indicate how good they are because of the injuries. I completely get that. But still, go out there and beat a team you're supposed to beat. I know they're underdogs, but who's got the better record and who went farther in the playoffs last season? Go out there and beat a team you're supposed to go out there and beat. And Miles Turner, in a contract year, have a night because he hasn't done that in a while. Siakam's been good. I'll give him that. And TJ McConnell's actually been great off the bench. Indiana's just due for a big win. They lost to the Hornets at home. They're so due. Indiana wins on the road at Philadelphia. Give me Miles Turner to have actually a good night against Joel Embiid. I hope. The Lakers. Oh my goodness. I'm like just not excited anymore because I have to talk about the reigning in-season champions. Yes, I was at the game where they unveiled the banner against the Knicks. They lost that game last year, about a year ago to this day. The Lakers taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Give me the Timberwolves to win. Yes, this is the second time all year we've picked against the Los Angeles Lakers in the money line. The first one was the Atlanta Hawks game because Trae Young is him. We are taking the Lakers in the spread. Now, should we be concerned about LeBron James? Should we be concerned? Injury-wise, right? He didn't even travel. Now, I heard personal issues earlier today, and now I'm hearing that it's the foot issue, the reason he's not playing. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say a thing. Okay, I'm not going to say a thing. I legitimately just don't know what's going on. But I do find it a little bit odd, considering they had a long break since the Portland game where he didn't play. LeBron's not played since December 6th. And this is the same guy who was talking about playing all 82 games this season. I don't know. LeBron James is one of my favorite players in the NBA. So, again, my favorite players are probably, God, if you had to press me on one, Victor Oladipo, technically, if he's... I wish Vic could still play. I don't think he's ever going to play again. But Victor Oladipo, Tyrese Halliburton, LeBron James. Okay, so there's that. Trae Young. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with LeBron. I don't. Because he's not even traveling. I know they have a home game on the 15th against the Grizz, so I'd assume he'd be back for that. But it's weird he's not even making the trip out to Minnesota. I do think the Lakers keep it competitive with the Timberwolves. They were able to win that Portland game without LeBron. AD, again, will need to step up, and we'll see how he plays against Gobert. Davis, again, AD does get bitched around by some of these other bigs in the NBA. Rudy Gobert's not one of them, though. He's not a Sabonis. He's not a Yusuf Nurkic. No, AD will go in there, and he will dominate and bully Rudy Gobert. And I think that's what keeps the Lakers in this game. I don't trust the Lakers to go into Minnesota and win. I really don't. But I do think the Lakers are able to keep this game close, and I feel like the 9.5 points is just too much here. Give me Los Angeles. Give me the Lakers to go on the road to Minnesota and cover this line. Ultimately, though, yes, give me the Timberwolves to win the game. Next up, we go on to Memphis, Tennessee. We've got the Memphis Grizzlies taking on the Brooklyn Nets. I just think there's incredible opportunity tonight here on underdogs. I really think there are, at least in these games. We're going to get down the stretch and there's not going to be that same value. But the last 3 games that we've just talked about, this one, the Lakers game and the Pacers game, I think there's incredible value on dogs. I wouldn't play the money lines for the Lakers or the Nets game. I'd play it for the Pacers 100%. I'm going to. And I wouldn't play it for this Nets game, but I am going to play plus 11.5 here in Brooklyn. I think it's too big of a line. I really think so. And I know, again, Cam Thomas is still out. That's fine. The Nets are a sneaky team that's going to stay competitive in every game they play. We say it all season long. I know no Cam Thomas hurts them. But even when I have doubted the Nets this season, a couple games going against the Pacers, they win the game, right? The Nets cover this line almost every single night. Trust me. If you give the Nets double digits, they will cover it. We saw this earlier in the year when they played Phoenix on the road. They ended up winning the game outright. We saw in their last game they covered this against the Bucks, a Bucks team that is healthy, right? I mean, there's random players in this Nets team. I mean, apologies for Dennis Schroeder calling him random, but Schroeder, Cameron Johnson, randomly these guys go off and just have nights. Cameron Johnson's an incredible shooter for this Brooklyn Nets team. Don't get me wrong, the Grizzlies are the better team. I mean, we just came off picking the Grizzlies as, plus 200 something money line winners against the Boston Celtics last week, and of course after that they went and beat the worst team in basketball in the Washington Wizards. But I do think the Nets are just a team that's able to keep up shooting wise with Memphis. Jaren Jackson's an all-star, guys. He's an excellent player in this league right now. He's an excellent player. He's an above, obviously former defensive player of the year, but Jaren Jackson's made so many strides in his offensive game. He, again, is an elite center in the NBA, I'll say it. He plays the 4 when Edey's in the starting lineup and healthy, but whatever. He's an elite big in the NBA. I just do think the Nets are able to keep up. Again, yes, the Grizzlies are a high-powered team that's going to score, and now John Moran obviously is dunking again, I guess. But I think Brooklyn, again, with their shooting, with guys like Schroeder, with Cameron Johnson, I do think they're just able to keep up in this basketball game, and I don't think the Grizzlies get away from them by that many points. Again, trust me, giving the Nets 11.5 just feels like too much, regardless of if Cam Thomas is healthy or not. That's just too many points for this Brooklyn Nets team that knows how to stick in games with their shooting. Brooklyn plus 11.5, it's just too many points. Next up, we move on to Chicago, Illinois. We've got the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Chicago Bulls. I'll be honest, probably the least anticipated game of the day. I wouldn't, play anything on this. When you look at ESPN's page for the Chicago Bulls right now, it's nothing previewing this game between the Bulls and the Hornets. Instead, it is the headline I'm reading right now is Michael Jordan's Chicago home sold for $9.5 million after decade on the market. Who bought this? This looks nice. I mean, obviously it's Michael Jordan. Built in 1995. There's a giant 23 Jordan with his number with the Bulls and the Wizards. 14-car garage, cigar room, infinity pool. Only 29 mil? 9.5 mil? I'm talking like I have that. I'm probably never going to have that. And I wish, but probably not. I read that in the title. I blanked out. That house sold for $9.5 million? I get it's in Chicago, but just look up Michael Jordan Chicago home. To me, looks like a $30 million house. Someone bought it for $9.5 million. I like how we got sidetracked because we're talking about the Chicago Bulls. That kind of goes to show I don't really want to talk about Chicago Bulls basketball. The storyline's the same every single day with the Bulls. Don't play defense, they score a lot. Will the Charlotte Hornets miss wide open shots? Because they're going to be there. That happens every night when you play the Bulls. Shots are going to be there. Can you hit them, though? No. Charlotte's not going to be able to hit it. Brandon Miller probably, guys, is an all-star this season. Beyond Brandon Miller, though, this team is incredibly weak. LaMelo's out. Miles Bridges is out. You take those two guys away. What is the supporting cast for Brandon Miller? You tell me. Josh Green? Mark Williams? Trey Mann's hurt. He's their 4th leading scorer. Seth Curry. Cody Martin. Come on now. Again, this will come down to if Charlotte can hit open shots and uncontested shots. Because that's what Chicago does. They don't play defense. Hell, look at their starting lineup. Levine, White, Giddey, Vucevic. Patrick Williams does play defense, but still. Those guys don't play defense. Can the Hornets hit their shots, though? No. The Bulls win the basketball game. They will out-boat race them here. -5.5. Give me Chicago to win the game at home in the United Center. Next up, we go on to Denver, Colorado, to the Mile High City. We've got the Denver Nuggets taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. I would like to think the Nuggets are just going to finally start showing us some consistency, because right now they have not shown us any consistency, which just doesn't make sense, right? You lose to the Cavs, fine, whatever. But then you lose on the road to the Wizards. And then ending your road trip, on the second half of a back-to-back, you take on the red-hot Atlanta Hawks, who are going to Las Vegas. I think have a really good chance of beating the Bucks tomorrow. We'll get to that. Anyways, they beat the Hawks by 30 points. A night after losing the Wizards by 9. The Nuggets are weird. They're 12-10 this season. Jokic, again, is putting up MVP numbers. This guy's averaging 32.5 points per game. But the MVP is going to SGA, and nobody's telling me otherwise. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now is the most valuable player. Say what you want about his free throws. That guy's the MVP. But Jokic is playing out of his mind. I'm not going to lie. 32.5, 13.5, and 10.5. Oh my goodness. That's something. But Shai's the MVP because voter fatigue's a thing. Regardless, the supporting cast around Jokic is just Jamal Murray has not been good this season, even though, yes, he's averaging 18 points a game. If you watch Jamal Murray's play, though, he doesn't play defense, and sure, he'll still hit his shots at times, but Jamal Murray's incredibly inconsistent. He doesn't play defense. That's the entire Denver Nuggets team. The Clippers have their weird dark magic. They just do. Derek Jones isn't playing. Terrence Mann isn't playing. Those are not, the main pieces of this Clippers squad, but what makes the Clippers so good is, yes, their dark magic, but it also is, again, their ability to shoot off the bench and ability actually just to be deep off the bench. And no Terrence Mann and Derek Jones, obviously, will force either Amir Coffey or Nicholas Batum in the starting lineup. It does, again, limit the mobility off the bench that the Clippers have. And that's why the Nuggets are going to win this basketball game. Not like Denver's bench is any better this season. Again, that's where Denver's been hurt a lot this year as well. It's been the defense, supporting cast around Jokic, and the bench. So literally everything but Nikola Jokic. But still, I do think Denver is able to win this basketball game, and I do think they're able to cover at home, especially with the injuries to Los Angeles right now. Norman Powell is playing. Again, him and Steve Ballmer are cooking up that dark magic every single night, probably with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. They all cook it up together. But give me the Denver Nuggets to win this basketball game at home at the Ball Arena. Next up, we go to Utah, to Salt Lake City. We've got the Utah Jazz taking on the Phoenix Suns. I am taking Phoenix to cover the 7.5 points, just because I know Kevin Durant's not playing, but Nurkic is back, and that should, be good enough for the Suns to win and to cover. I know they haven't won a basketball game in a minute. They've lost 3 in a row, obviously, to the Pels, which, my goodness, lose the 2 games in Florida, to both Miami and to Orlando. All competitive basketball games, though. You add Nurkic back to the equation, and they should be fine. They're taking on a Jazz team who fooled me in the Portland game because the Trailblazers are just weird. We'll get to the Portland Trailblazers in a second. But Utah looks great in the Portland game. They win the game by 42 points. Walker Kessler has basically a career night, and then they go into Sacramento and get destroyed against a very inconsistent Kings team that barely could get by the Pelicans last night. Again, the association is unpredictable and weird. It just is. That's why, for me, the IST was so much easier to pick. It just was. We went 3-1 on the IST, and should have gone 4-0 if the refs didn't rob the Warriors. Okay, it's just easier to pick because they're actual meaningful games and playoff-like games. These we're trying, and we can get reads. But again, it is much easier to pick once we get into the postseason and once we have the IST as well. And again, we'll have that again for you on the channel tomorrow. Utah is so incredibly inconsistent. You get Phoenix here, who does again get Nurkic back. You still have D-Book. You still have Bradley Beal. I cannot trust this Jazz team the way that they're playing. Just too inconsistent for my liking. And their only really great game this season, or last couple of games, last 10, was the Portland game. And on top of that, Lauri Markkanen is questionable. I know, again, they had their best game of the season in Portland without Lauri Markkanen. But still, I'd be a fool to tell you that Lauri does not help this Jazz team out. Give me Phoenix to go on the road to Utah, win the basketball game, and cover the 7.5 points as well. As we go on to our final game of the video, the Portland Trailblazers at home against the San Antonio Spurs. I really think this is a bargain line here for San Antonio. I know we were telling you early in the video we love the underdogs, and we do, with the Pacers, Lakers, and Nets. Again, would not take the money lines for the Nets and the Lakers. Definitely take it for the Pacers. I think they can come through. I don't envision a world where the Spurs don't beat the Trailblazers tomorrow night. I understand the association is weird, and these two teams, though, are very familiar with each other this season, right? I'm thinking of Houston and San Antonio. My fault. Regardless, San Antonio and Portland have played once this season, and San Antonio won the basketball game. It was in San Antonio, but they won it by 13 points. Okay. I get it, the game's in Portland. Guys, I've been to the Moda Center this season. It is the most dead crowd I've ever seen, probably because, again, the fans in Portland, Oregon have nothing to cheer for on this Trailblazers team. But I was in the Rose Garden this year. It was the most dead basketball environment for an NBA game that I've ever been to, partially maybe because they were down by 30 points at the end of the first quarter. But again, that shows you how bad the Trailblazers at home and how bad they have been, or just how bad in general they've been at home this season. I feel like every time I turn on a Trailblazers game late at night because there's nothing else to watch, they're losing at home. They're not good. Portland is horrible, guys. They really are. They are just a bad basketball team. DeAndre Ayton, who knows what's going on with him and Chauncey Billups? Who knows if he even suits up tomorrow? They kind of have to have him suit up, though, because Robert Williams is out, Klingon is out. You know what that sets up for? Victor Wembanyama to score 55 points. Okay? I see you guys in the comments, you're asking for player props. I personally don't bet those. I could do research on them and maybe present you some later in the season, but I'll give you one right now. I don't know what Victor Wembanyama's line is. Take the over. I know he's come back from injury. Take the over. Zach Collins isn't playing, so Wemby's going to have extended minutes, and on top of that, DeAndre Ayton's going to lock him down? Klingon isn't playing. Williams isn't playing off the bench. Yeah. This is Wembanyama, and it's Wemby all night long, and Wemby is going to lead the Spurs to victory. They are 12-12, but Wemby leads the Spurs to cover the 3.5 points, and sure, take the over on Wembanyama all day long. Give me the San Antonio Spurs in the nightcap against this lowly Portland Trailblazers team. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here on December 13th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel and the college basketball best bets. Make sure, again, done watching this video, make sure to join us for the college basketball best bets in the description down below, folks. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.